Hey ladies, today I'm going to share with you my Brazilian waxing journey. I tried it for the very first time at the ripe age of 42 years old, and I want to share this with you because I know so many women over the age of 30, 40, 50 don't wax just like me. We tend to stick to shaving or other hair removal methods. But I think that we are missing out. So today, I want to show you what I did. I'm going to show you the products that I use, and by the end of the video, you will see why I'm so excited to share this with you. And if you are in the USA, Canada, or Australia, I would love to hear from you. Have you tried the Brazilian wax? If not, would you try it? Let us know in the comments below. Now, I was so nervous when I was about to do this. I kept on pushing the appointment back, and I kept on thinking about how painful is it going to be. You know, I'm almost 43 years old. I have mature skin. It's a bit more sensitive than it used to be. But let me tell you a little secret. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let me take you through my entire Brazilian waxing experience. The first thing I did was that I went on Amazon and I bought a Brazilian waxing kit. There's so many to choose from. This one has really great reviews. I also got some aloe gel. I bought some aloe vera. I didn't need it. I didn't apply it. I didn't like the smell. So I'll show you what I actually applied. And then I bought a serum to get rid of ingrown hairs. And this was probably one of the best investments that I made for myself. So I'll talk to you a bit more about that later on in the video. The next day came around really quickly and I was getting ready for my appointment. I put on an old t-shirt. I didn't want to wear something new in case there was any accidents or spills. I drove to the salon and when I got there, I signed a waiver. They gave me a consultation. I went through all of my medical history and then I had to lie down on the bed. That's when the nervousness kicked in. The woman that was doing the wax said, "Do you want to see the tools that she's going to use?" So I said, "Absolutely not." She was very nice. She was very friendly. She started off by applying a powder to my legs. And I must say, this was a bit uncomfortable, because it was ticklish. Then she started applying wax. She was using a hard wax. That's for hair removal only. And then she was using a soft wax for my skin. She explained to me the difference between the two. And then she started the waxing process. I could feel the heat. I could feel the pull. But honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And she worked really fast. So I'm gonna show you some of the footage that she captured. The first strip came off and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. And then I looked down and I saw that my leg was completely smooth. And I said, wait, where is the camera? She was recording the entire time. And I said, stop the camera, stop the camera, stop the camera. I was just shocked. I couldn't believe how smooth my leg was. That's when she said to me, don't worry, you can look. And then I looked down and I said, what? Because my mind was blown. I couldn't believe how smooth my skin was. And the best part about it was it didn't hurt. Okay, it did a tiny little bit. I would say maybe a 2 out of 10. When she pulled off the last strip, I felt a bit of a tug. I was like, oh my god. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't that painful. That's when I saw that my entire leg was smooth. And again, I just couldn't believe it. I've been shaving since I was 16 years old, okay? And I've never, ever had such smooth skin. I could not believe it. So I hope you can see in the footage how shocking it was for me to see my leg completely smooth. I was done with my first Brazilian wax. Now here's what happened afterwards. She applied the aloe gel. Honestly, I didn't like the smell. It smelled like alcohol, so I wouldn't recommend that. And then I applied the serum that I got from Amazon. I loved that. And then she gave me a washcloth and told me to wash my legs. I could feel every single pore opening up. When I stood up and I walked to the bathroom, that's when I really saw the transformation. When I shaved, I would always see little nicks and cuts. My skin was always red. It was always irritated. It was never smooth. And now this was absolutely amazing. I could not believe how incredible my skin looked. I still don't even know how to describe it. I was just so happy. I was so surprised. I was so shocked. I was so thrilled with the results. Now I was walking on air. I was like floating. I went out for dinner that night with my girlfriends. I wore a dress. I was so excited to show them my legs, but I couldn't, so I'll show you here. I'm wearing a bikini. I hope you don't mind. I'm showing you the before and after. Just look at the difference. Look at the difference. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? As women, we tend to focus on our flaws, right? We tend to focus on the cellulite, on the imperfections, on the things that we don't like. And I did that too. And I forgot to appreciate how incredible my legs were looking. I would never have guessed that I could have such smooth, silky, gorgeous legs. And I'm so glad that I finally decided to try this. If you are a woman over the age of 40, and you have given the Brazilian wax a try, I highly recommend it. It is an absolute game changer. Now, I do want to share a couple of tips with you. After I got the wax, I noticed that my skin was a bit sensitive, so I didn't exfoliate for the next week. I just wanted to give it some time to calm down. I also applied the serum every single day to prevent ingrown hairs. And I have to tell you, it worked wonders. I have 0 ingrown hairs. Now, in the past, when I shaved, I would always get those little bumps. They would be so annoying. They would last for days. I would have to cover them up with makeup. They would be so irritating. Now my skin is super smooth. I have no irritation, no redness, nothing. And I gotta tell you, this feeling is absolutely amazing. And yes, it does hurt a little bit, but it's not unbearable, especially if you are somebody who gets your eyebrows waxed. This is exactly the same thing. It's just a bit more extensive, but it's not painful. I would say maybe a 3 out of 10. You know, I used to think that this was something that only 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds did. But now I'm so glad that I gave it a try. I'm so glad that I didn't let my age define me. I'm so glad that I didn't let my insecurities hold me back. Because I missed out on this amazing experience. And if you are watching this video and you live in the USA, Canada or Australia, I would love to hear from you. Have you tried the Brazilian wax? If not, would you try it? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it gave you some insight. And I hope that it inspired you to try the Brazilian wax just like I did. Much love. Your biggest cheerleader.